three. Okay, another uncut entry. It is Christmas, Boxing Day. Yeah, it's Boxing Day. Had Christmas at my parents yesterday. Got some gifts and all of that. Got some new boxing gloves. I can't wait to try that out this weekend when the gym is open. And got some books. I got it here actually. Some marketing books. What is this? Some sort of I forgot it. What is it? ASAP is a poison. More of like a workflow book. And then Bobby Hundreds. This is not a t-shirt. More on like branding, building a brand, all of that shit. And then also pattern cutting. Pattern, yeah, for menswear. So this is gonna be my Bible for next year. Everything's gonna be leveling up, pattern cut wise. But yeah, and yeah, I got this too. The I don't know, but I'm into watches, man. I've always been into watches. I even designed my own for the future for me to bring to life. But yeah, this is my late grandfather's, and it's a day date Seiko 5 from the 1980s, and my grandfather used to work in Saudi, so this actually has a English and Arabic day thing. It's a day date, so the days of the week they're in Arabic and English, and currently it's in Arabic for Friday. But it's an automatic. It had a metal strap, but because obviously it's over 40 years old, it's not as intact. So I'm afraid that if I wear it, that it would break on its own, because it's quite close to that, because it's been stretched over the decades of wear. That's why I got a leather strap to elevate it a little bit more, make it look smart, and it's like a quick release one. Like, yo, that looks sick. And I love the heritage of it, like my late grandfather wore it, and then my dad wore it, and then he saw me wearing a similar sort of shape, but it's like a women's wear Cuban link watch, and it has a similar shape to this. So my dad was like, oh, you know what, you can have this. And I was like, dope. And then I just started wearing it ever since, and that was just like a month ago. But yeah, I'm into watches, man. When Pioneers of Greatness blows up, man, I am buying myself some Patek Philippe, some AP, some Rolex. What else is there? Some FB Journe. Yeah, I went into the rabbit hole of like the luxury watches and stuff. I even have like a wish list, adding like literally there's watches there that are like 6 figures, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna add it anyways, because I'm gonna be a millionaire at some point, and I'll have like income to dispose of. So then I'll just look through that wish list and see what's up. But yeah, no, I love watches, man. And especially seeing like the craftsmanship that goes into it, and knowing that it's one of those pieces of technology that isn't electric, it's pure mechanical, so it's just cogs and all of that stuff. And I love that about it. It's pure, it's pure artistry and craftsmanship, and it keeps time, and it's functional. Like I'm really into things that are functional. I'm not really into like the whole aesthetic stuff. Like it has to have some function in order for me to at least wear it. But yeah, this week, what did I do? What did I do? I launched the site last week. So this week was about promoting the fucking shit out of POG. So I've been hella active on TikTok, just doing like TikTok videos showing the behind the scenes, and then like, the end product, the shoot we did in Tokyo, Japan. Basically, just to the point. It's not even like, it's not spamming, but just making the same thing, making small tweaks and whatnot, and then just, yeah, letting it into the world. The social media, and it's picking up. It's getting likes. It's getting follows. And the whole idea for me is just to get as many eyes onto the brand. And obviously, since I'm going to be starting production in January 2026 for the Forged Denim jacket, then that helps. I have yet to get my first sale, but so far it's promising, because I've had people say, "Oh, yo, I'm gonna once it's payday in 2026, we're copping." But obviously, I'll just have to wait if they follow through with that. But the main focus now is just to market heavy, man. Like be on in front of people's face, like left and right, like being shameful, really. So that's what I've been doing this week. Starting to do it more on Instagram, because with the Instagram, the account for Pioneers of Greatness, I like to try and keep that more of a professional editorial type of thing. So I've been posting more of the behind the scenes of my personal brand, and then just channeling, people to follow Pioneer, the actual Pioneers of Greatness account on IG. But on TikTok, it's meant to be messy there, so I just I just post the behind the scenes as is on the actual brand page for Pioneers of Greatness, because I'm at the beginning stage, right? So it's supposed to be messy. It's supposed to look somewhat like raw and like gritty, because what I start to see is most people, when they try to launch their brands, they want to be like so fucking professional, to the point like they're rivaling like Louis Vuitton and all of that, Dior. Like how they market, that's sort of what they sort of strive for. And I'm like, if you try and do that, you're only going to be marketing, you're going to have enough marketing content for like a week, and then from there you're going to stop posting, because you try to look as professional as possible, and it's not attainable when you don't even have marketing budget for marketing. That's why for me, I'm allowing the brand to, look rough, look scruffy, because I understand that it's just the early days. And although I do have some parts that are, professional, like the campaign shoot we did in Tokyo, Japan, or even like the sort of like behind the scenes that I filmed earlier in the year. But other than that, it's just all about putting shit out there and then refining it later on, and then seeing what sticks, and then improving on that. But yeah, no, I'm just allowing the brand to be an early brand, because that's what I was sort of stuck on a couple months back. Like, oh, how do I market this brand and still have it look, somewhat professional? But then I'm like, I need to allow the brand to be an early brand. Like, I don't have budget for marketing, man. I only have budget for making the products and R&D. But yeah, so that's what I'm focusing on in the meantime, and allowing people to, whoever finds the brand, allow them to understand that, yo, this is the very beginning. You're watching the first steps of the brand, and inviting them to follow the journey. And I think it's better that way. Like, who wouldn't want to? And plus, I'm putting out, this is sick. For the first product, this is sick. And who wouldn't want to follow and see where I could take this. But yeah, no, there's a lot to do, but I've narrowed down my focus, so that's a good thing. Narrowing my focus and just executing, man. Execute, execute, execute. Like the thinking has been done. I've been doing the thinking the past 4 years. Now it's just time to execute, execute, and then iterate, and then develop and execute some more. But yeah, now can't wait. Can't wait. Can't wait to read these books here, apply the whatever learnings onto Pioneers of Greatness, and just push it as much as I can. I have to, because I'm 30 next year. So I have to make this work. Like, I've narrowed down the vision so much to the point where this is the only thing that will save me. There is no plan B, plan C. And if there were there to make plan A work, that's why the whole part-time bar job is there. That's all to fuel Pioneers of Greatness. And I keep mentioning it because I'm at that point, obviously, where most people would not dare do this. Like, I could be in architecture in a senior role. You have to be crazy to back away from that and pick up a part-time job, a bar job, and work in POG full-time. Like, this year I did interviews for Ralph Lauren. I could have been working at Ralph Lauren, but there were certain things that I didn't do that they were looking for. And cool, like, I accepted it. Like, it wasn't for me, because there was like one thing that they were looking for. Like, if I followed trends, I don't follow trends. I do as I please when it comes to fashion. And I don't even follow fashion as a whole. And it's funny because I'm building a fashion brand. But sometimes that's what you need in order to actually pioneer your own lane. You have to do your own thing and sort of cut yourself off from what everyone else is doing or trying to do. Because when you look at these brands, man, they're all doing the same shit. And they're just copying each other. Like, bro, can't you think for yourself? That's why I'm like, there's no point of me even following fashion, because they're too busy copying each other. I'm more on doing my own shit, and I'm not too bothered about what they're fucking doing. So there's that. But yeah, no. Back to the point where, yeah, I could be in a better position, work wise, like a day job. See, I just see this as a day job, like the part-time bar job. And even if I had like a corporate 9 to 5 job, I would still see it as a day job, and it wouldn't be like the for me. The full time will be the brand always. But that's not the case, which is good because I prefer having a part time and having a lot of time to focus on the brand and really push it. That just shows that yo, I ain't joking, I'm not joking around. Like I'm taking a hit at my, taking a hit on my salary, the salary I could be getting at this point of my life. And you have to, like I'm taking that risk, I'm happy to take that risk because no risk, no reward. The higher the risk, the higher the reward, and that's what I'm betting on. And I'm not even like a betting person, but if I were to bet, this is what I'm betting on. I'm betting on pioneers of greatness. And yeah, you have to be a little bit crazy, and that's me at this moment. I have literally have my friends telling me, "Yo, you need to get a job. Like, if you get a job, we're celebrating." But that never happened, which is funny because I just accepted that, yo, that whole 9 to 5 shit is not for me. And they were cool with it because at least now they see that, yeah, this guy ain't playing, man. I mean, he's got a part-time job that's better than no job. But yeah, nah. Yeah, I'm quite crazy, man. Because if in another world, like if I were in this position, and let's say I wasn't working on Pioneers of Greatness, and I was just working a part-time job at this age, almost being 30, I'd be like, yo, something ain't right. But I'm building Pioneers of Greatness, so then I can take the hit. Like I'm building something for myself and for the future. Because there's people out there, they're not building anything for themselves. And it's not for everyone too, building a business is not for everyone. Like this, you need to be like strong mentally, because man, there's gonna be like I've been through some. I'm currently going through like financial struggle in terms of like debt and all of that shit. Actually, no, not anymore. I sort of figured that out. I haven't paid them off, but I've figured it out. But yeah, if it were to be other people now, they wouldn't be able to carry that weight mentally. Like most people crumble if they have like a £1,000 debt, times that by 10. That's what I'm working with. But I know that I'm gonna be fucking rich and be a millionaire at some point. So that shit doesn't bother me. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of shit it's gonna challenge you, man. Mentally, financially, all of that shit. And even despite those challenges or setbacks, and you're still pursuing, building this brand, nothing stopping you, man. Honestly, like if people were to be in my shoes, yeah, nah, they'll be like, yeah, I'm quitting, man. I'm gonna focus on finding a 9 to 5 and just enjoy having a salary, a fixed salary every year and work up the ladder. But nah, not me. But yeah, now that's why I start to realize that, yeah, man, this entrepreneurial shit is only for a handful of people, because you need a set of circumstances to then push you to this path. Because at first I thought I was going to be an architect and I would follow the corporate route. Like I remember even having like a 7-year plan after graduating architecture. where I would work, who I would work for, and then how I would climb up the ladder. That was my mindset 10 years ago. But I arrived and I was put in a set of circumstances where that changed my mind frame and molded me into an entrepreneurial path, which is kind of mad. Because if the things that happened to me didn't happen, then I wouldn't be pursuing this crazy path. Because none of my parents, they all told me to, you know, work hard in school and get a good job and rock that, you know. Like my mom's a nurse and she's been in the industry. That's all she's know. Uh, that's all she knows, and she's been in the industry like for 20 years. So since graduating nursing, all she's done is nursing, which is mad. But yeah, none of my relatives are entrepreneurs. Yeah, so it would be me. I would be the only one. When this hits, I'll be the only one to have done it. Yeah, that's why it's only for a few people. Yeah, and definitely not everyone's fit for this or cut for this, because you need to make some sacrifices and stuff. Yeah. But then again, you need to be crazy enough to pull it off. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this entry. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I'll see you guys in the new year. Yeah, that will be the next episode, next entry will be in 2026, and then that would mark 1 year of doing uncut. I'm out.